And you can see here the rotations already. It seems like, yeah, Skylar will have the Purify on the board.
Good reset by Beloy as well. Doing quite well at delaying pair 6 clear. That's something that GEEK Fam needs to play with here if they want an edge onward. There's Shatter. Beloy not with a signature first blood just yet. RRQ unable to get that, but it's a flicker burnt.
Good flicker as well. I mean, might as well. Right, you're in that sticky situation now. Let's talk about emblems here. Anything stand out?
Well, for sure, all the agilities here, because GEEK Fam, they need to outmaneuver RRQ, considering that they don't really have the edge when it comes to big crowd control, unless it's a big one like the Wild Charge. By the way, we have our questions answered here. Lemon in the mid lane with the Rafaela, with the blessing and the agility. He's trying to roam around and be as big of a nuisance as possible, but he's losing out in the wave clear department. So this Lilia pick is really shutting down Lemon's aspirations of being able to impact the side laners.
Take a look at the EXP here. Nile is way above first stick, perhaps 2 cams above first stick here. So rotation while now Nile's got it in the bag.
I got a question though, Rashi. When we see Rafaela's, usually we see Rave Smite or even Focusing Mark. It's an Impure Rage by Lemon. Anything to know there?
I think he's going to be in the mid lane, a bit more spam heavy to try and clear, and a bit more aggressive as well. So I think he's going for that option because he's not intending on being in the front lines like we see some Rafaelas do. Now though, with RRQ having that heavy speed to play around with, are they going to go for a fight?
They are. They're gonna go in hard, but the boy has the black shoes to disengage. Luke now with 2 hits! Oh. First blood onto Lemon. Now Dyron gonna be taunted. Appraiser's Rat connecting it out. Blade thrusting forward, finding another. Versik and Naomi left to run. It's a good disengage, Earth Shatter, but GEEK Fam, my goodness gracious. They have won a neutral objective battle. They're diving straight into the turret. The Versik has the heavy spin, and Luke knows better than to dive in a Kai.
This can spell disaster. Oh, boy. That's a good trade.
But now it's another Wild Charge coming down and a big wall to wall Lemon down. Dyron walking forward onward, and the Earth Shatter as Dyron picks up a second. Will look to be a big win for GEEK Fam. Has turned around, and RRQ has found payback.
Man, this mid lane play from Lemon, very aggressive, but always getting sacrificed in the process. We've seen this being a bit more of a trend because now the mid laners are a bit more of a, a bit more of an extra support. So maybe this Rafaela pick might be really beneficial for this idea of RRQ. Looking at the talent's predictions though, Mirko, I see what you're doing there.
Hey man, so far I've gotten all the right predictions. Maybe not in this prediction, but the real one. Beloy, Versik finds it, uses the retry, has heavy spin. Beloy has the power of nature, and both teams just play it safer. But Versik jumps in, no heavy spin again. Beloy's waiting, pops in the power of nature to get out of the baptism.
That's a good timing on that skill, right? Power of nature. But let's talk about Versik on that Akai not getting the first neutral objective. That can spell disaster because when you pick up an Akai, you usually want to pick up the nukes.
Nile locking Skylar down, but he has the Purify. Now Naomi is going to be the target. Wild Charge, good flicker out by Naomi. The Kingdom's Falcon flapping his wings out of a scary situation.
Wow, no trade. Again, GEEK Fam economy-wise, they're leading here 1,000 gold, Arashi. 4 minutes in, is that significant?
I mean, they have the better early game composition. Technically, a lot of burst damage. We saw how Lemon essentially got deleted in that first skirmish. So I think for now, RRQ is just on damage control, trying to make sure that GEEK Fam doesn't snowball, and then they can make plays in the mid-game where these tools for the neutral objectives can be beneficial, but man, Luke is just absolutely a menace, but so is Skylar.
RRQ get a kill on their most lethal member. Skylar on the Bruno. We know what he did back in the regular season when he first picked this. He got a triple kill and a big Sui. Let's see, Versik walking up, that's a heavy spin, locking him down, Versik picks it up, Nile unable to retry right there with a chain CC and an onward, and an Earth Shatter, even everything in a kitchen sink, thrown at him. Luke now getting caught, but is able to flicker out to safety from the raging sandstorm.
Oh, that's a very tough blow to the side of GEEK Fam. They lost Beloyski, but they forced that turtle fight. I don't think Arashi personally, that's worth it, right? You lost a member, you know what? Yeah, against Akai, especially, you don't really want to play that 50-50.
Well, this is where what you were asking about, Bonnie. how can the Akai win out in the neutral objectives? This mid-game power spike is what they're going to use, and I think that's going to be the main pattern. In the gold lane, Skylar got 2 kills at this point, so that's going to mean that he's going to be a bit more ahead than Kudera, but that will be a big factor when it comes to those longer, drawn-out fights as well, already with the Berserker's Fury here.
With the Berserker's Fury, it will have that spike, a small spike for Bruno. 6 minutes in. And again, Geek Fam, what they need to do is just play it safely. They were ahead almost 2,000 gold 2 minutes ago. And after that turtle fight, it's just snowballed. RRQ controlling the map with the structure as well, taking down bottom line. Geek Fam, they have less space to play with.
That's for now though. Later on, this Paquito is going to be a huge macro threat. You can see a split push orchestrated by Geek Fam later on, and they are no stranger to those kind of macro movements. Unless RRQ, they can just shut down and just with brute force Geek Fam into areas of the map they do not want to be in. Looking at the gold differences by UBS Gold right here, especially in the gold lane, you're seeing 1,000 gold difference more or less, and even in the mid lane, a boy has a bit more of an advantage, but Lemon isn't that far behind.
No, not much. That is a big gold lead though in the gold lane, and that's something that is very concerning. Chidera doesn't have the golden staff just yet. Fairsec now in the mid lane, clearing it out all alone as Niall tries to pull it out. The turtle, that's an onward, another shatter. Voloisky with a wild charge, but the baptism there does not connect. Voloisky still able to get out with a flicker burnt though. Niall looking for the retreat, Naomi looking for the lockdown, and Geek Fam will decide, no, we cannot take this. RRQ have too much neutral objective control, and Rex Regum Kaon will secure their second turtle of the game.
Lesson learned.
Walking up this heavy spin, a boy not going to be pinned down just yet right now, but it's going to be the final pin with a Purify in. Black Shoes gets him out. No real source for both teams to go full commit, but Luke is in a tough spot. Naomi has flicker, but he decides not to go for it.
The calculations from a boy, man. Heavy spin, Purify Black Shoes. The composure this guy's got is still showing 8 minutes in. And again, Geek Fam, they lost the turtle because they learned from that second turtle, Arashi. You know what? Let's not force this. Let's just give it away and look for trades. And that is what Geek Fam did.
Well, for now, that is what the game is looking right? But after this first initial turn of tables, where RRQ now has the control, they're going to reach terminal velocity, where this carry and Lilia pick is going to do a lot of damage with enough items. So RRQ, they're actually working against the clock, and if you look at how people are moving here, Karasik is the one being disturbed, being irritated by Beloisky. So despite being ahead, RRQ, they're not exactly aggressing. All they're doing right now is avoiding fights before neutral objective spawns, and they're going to rely on the Lord to get those objectives. Looking at the items right now, it's just, for the most part, all damage. Lemon, though, with the Demon Shoes, he's trying to make sure that he has ample supply of mana to heal up his teammates and provide that rotation speed they're going to require in that Lord macro take.
I mean, great point. Geek Fam, at this point, they're just weathering the storm here. Late game carry will be more. Beloisky though.
The wild charge wasn't wild enough because the alien caught up with a baptism and the help of the Kingdom's Falcons onward.
Man, that's such a shame. Beloisky caught, and a boy, he's okay. He's okay now. Let's see, RRQ again. They're looking to zone out members of Geek Fam. Lord is up. Let's see the setup.
Oh, good onward, and now look at the damage coming from Skylar. Her shatter not comboed in with a flicker. Niall walking forward, taunting Skylar up. This is quite concerning. Look at Skylar's mana. He won't be able to pop skill 1, and that's why he is forced to recall. If Geek Fam know about this, they can start to force the issue, a 4v5.
Okay, RRQ, they're committing to this. Geek Fam, Fairsec, and Niall, who will grab it?
Well, now Luke is trying to zone the other members in the back line. Fairsec jumps in with a heavy spin and secures the Lord for Rex Regum Kaon. Hitting Niall down as well. It's double the value. 2 birds, 1 stone.
Take a look at top side as well. I feel like Geek Fam, they understand that, yeah, carry here, they did not join. He did not join. It's a 4v5 technically. RRQ gets it. But again, Geek Fam, they're not really looking to grab the wins here in that early 2 mid. They're looking to weather it out, be active, be more active through the lane.
My question is, when will this hit, the power spike for Geek?
I think at about the 4th item, more or less, that will be the time where the carry needs and underlying gold italic needs to be crowd controlled in the middle of a fight. Even the tankiest member on RRQ, the Akai or the Edith.
Charge. Fair signal, heavy spin. That's going to be the red tree coming down. He finally gets it off a cooldown and he uses it instantly. Beloy's isolated away. They're not going to try to chase him down though. They'll focus more on the turrets. Meanwhile, Luke taking a page out of Iran's book. Naomi with a flicker, not connecting. Earthstrider dodged away from Chidera. Getting some good stacks, some good damage on Naomi, but RRQ are doing the same to the tier 2 bottom lane turret. They spot Beloy trying to look for a flank, and they say no, not today.
RRQ, they got the Lord, but they lost an inner turret as well. So GEEK fam, very good management here, especially if we're talking about that top lane, where Paquito, cleared the super minions, grabbed the inner, and all GEEK fam members, they did not die.
Exactly, man. That is the macro play that the Paquito really brings to your team. Dairon tries to cut the wave right there to try and ensure that the towers won't fall, but he missed one minion, I think. That was the only minion that Luke was able to use to take the turret down. So far, even though RRQ has full control, it's only a 1.5k gold lead. It's not game-changing as of right now, and we are approaching the mid to late game stage of the game. This is where our GEEK fam, they're going to be able to try and hit back. So RRQ needs to be a bit more calculative in these team fights. Now, if they make a big mistake, GEEK fam can absolutely capitalize.
Skyler's got that melted roar though, so he's going to start melting these frontliners for GEEK fam.
Let's see here. 12 minutes in. Tempo, pace gone down, but I mean, Beloyski is just a screen monster. He even committed the barrier and the wall charge there to try to steal the purple, but it seems like First Six was still too clean with it. Structure here, it seems like Luke will sacrifice that, knowing that no visible members on the map for RRQ. Luke wants to play it safe.
Look at that damage. Down to half. Skyler is lethal. This is why he's so scary on any pick, especially a pick that can scale quite well, despite having some bully powers in the early game. Now with a good dodge, with a dash, away from the onward. Now with a holy healing, RRQ gets in place of the Lord.
They might try and go and rush it, man, because earlier, the bottom side is no longer managed right here, and RRQ definitely go for something aggressive here.
Niall placed out of position. Naomi with a flicker right now as heavy spin pins down. Chadera! Out of all the members, they found the gold! And now GEEK fam might not be able to go for this. It's free for RRQ. Meanwhile, Luke trying to clear out the minion wave in the mid lane. Dodges away from the raging sandstorm. Jumps in, dodges away from the baptism. And he might get out. Naomi with the onward. That's a flicker by Luke and a clean escape. And another knockoff comes in to secure a kill. Another baptism as well. RRQ with a 3-for-0 trade.
My goodness, RRQ. They weren't convincing in that early, but they surely convinced giving a convincing mid-game now, Arashi.
There's a big mid-game power spike, and they are not wasting it at all. They're going for multiple base towers here, it seems, but with Kadera up now, they have to be a bit more careful. But with the gold lead at 5k, now GEEK fam needs to be a bit more concerned. It's no longer the equal game that they were waiting on. But early on, though, I think RRQ, they let go of the bottom turret because Dairon, he was giving up the turret because he was afraid of a pickoff, but Beloyski
has to flicker out. The Earthshatter connects onto Niall, who's trying to frontline, but look at the damage from Skyler. So much. Niall has to move back instantly now. Fairsick dashes out. Luke trying to handle the mid-wave right now. Jumping in, clearing it out. That's a Raging Sandstorm that did not connect. What happened? A boy was deleted by RRQ. He cannot handle this damage. The base can't handle this damage. That's another base turret down. And RRQ are looking for the Executor, looking to end this game. Chidera with a few good stacks of damage onto Diamond. That's an onward, and the Earth Shatter. Luke jumps over the knockout strike, but Beloy gets melted down as a heavy spin. Takes Luke outside of the base, outside of the crystal. Now it's Skyler looking for a triple kill. That it is! Chidera, the only member left. It might be a Maniac, 2 Wind of Natures, but one comes out on top. RRQ, the Kingdom, strikes first.
The Kingdom strikes first in this best of 5. And goodness me, what a convincing start for RRQ. 0 play from GEEK fam, and RRQ managed just to steamroll with it.
Man, the discipline and the way they're